Hi guys, so Cornel West is a political philosopher, author, and activist in the United States, and he explains the reasoning behind the protests in a perfect way. So let's hear what he has to say.
The problem is we've got a system, my brother, that rationalizes legalized loot. Wall Street greed, Wall Street crimes. Well, there's no doubt that this is America's moment of reckoning. I thank God that we have people in the streets. Can you imagine this kind of lynching taking place and people are indifferent? The catalyst was certainly Brother George's Floyd public lynching, but the failures of the predatory capitalist economy to provide the satisfaction of the basic needs of food and health care and quality education, jobs with a decent wage. At the same time, the collapse of your political class, the collapse of your professional class. Their legitimacy has been radically called into question, and that's multiracial. Most of my fellow citizens, God bless them, that are in the streets are there, peaceful, who are there marching, and when it does spill over into violence, looting is wrong. But legalized looting is wrong too. So that then the question becomes, how do we keep alive moral, spiritual standards, keep alive, staying in contact with the humanity of all of us across the board, but recognizing we're living in a moment of massive economic, what is capitalist economy? Failure when it comes to delivering the needs. The nation state, failure to protect. Critical criminal justice system, failure to be fair. The young people are saying, you all have been hypocritical, you haven't been concerned about our suffering, our misery, and we no longer believe in your legitimacy. We must have an anti-fascist coalition against what's going on in the White House Republican Party. We have to tell the truth about the milquetoast, cowardly activity too often that we see among the neoliberal wing of the Democratic Party, and we must be critical of ourselves in terms of keeping alive the highest moral and spiritual standards of Martin Luther King Jr. And Fannie Lou Hamer and Ella Baker, and you see it at work in the soul of Brother George Floyd's family. If we're more concerned about the property and spillover than the poverty, decrepit school system, dilapidated housing, massive unemployment and underemployment, we're gonna be doing this every 5, every 10, every 20 years. What we need is a nonviolent revolutionary project of full-scale democratic sharing, power, wealth, resources, respect, organizing, and the fundamental transformation of this American empire.
So this video was uploaded by Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is still active, but I love this guy. He's saying exactly what I'm trying to say in much better words. He's been saying it for decades now. The poor are suppressed. When they complain, the media point out that they're complaining and brandish them, looters, criminals, every word under the sun, to diminish their protest, to diminish their complaint. Now, the only tangent I want to go on, and the only disagreement I have with Cornel, is that he believes it's possible to upend the system, to change it in a peaceful way. And unfortunately, I disagree with him. I don't think it's possible. I think the system is so embedded, you have to root it out completely. And it's very difficult to do that in a peaceful way. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's possible to replace the current neoliberal capitalist system in the United States in a peaceful way, but I'm skeptical. I have my doubts it's possible, because you have seen how people have pushed against the system and the system pushes back. There is gradual change, but it's more on social issues and gradual, very, very gradual changes on economic issues. But the system itself is still intact. The corruption is still intact. the idea that you go out and vote, and you vote for A or you vote for B, while at the end of the day you are still stuck in your squalor, you're still oppressed by the system. You're given the illusion that if you vote you will make a change. So the people are protesting because they see that the politicians have not delivered the change that the politicians have promised. The system has not delivered the change that they were promised, that the system had promised those people. In this scenario, they're protesting against police violence, but Cornel West has brilliantly explained how there is looting going on, but the real looting is the looting by the billionaire class, by the corporations, by Wall Street, for example, of ordinary people's savings, of ordinary people's incomes, of their jobs, of their future. That has all been taken from them. And if they go out on the street and protest, the system attacks them through their voice in the media. The media attacks the protesters. I uploaded a video just the other day of Fox News focusing all of their footage on the looters, on the violent protests, not talking to protesters who are protesting peacefully, because they're not interested in that. It's about feeding a narrative that protesting against the government is bad. Protesting against the system is unacceptable. So I really want you to check out this philosopher, Cornel West, if you're not familiar with him. I think he's one of the only voices of reason in the United States left. And he's been consistent in his message. And it's no surprise that Bernie Sanders is a great friend of his and a supporter of Cornel West. So let me know in the comments, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. But I do recommend checking out Cornel West's material, some of his books, but also even just videos on YouTube with interviews from him. Thanks a lot. Why not become a Patreon and enjoy access to our Discord server where we share news, chat, and have some fun. If you become a patron, you can also make video suggestions on topics that are important to you. Check it out via the link in the description.